Hey, friends, I'm Otis Gibbs, and this is my buddy Peter Case. He's going to share a great story about meeting Merle Haggard.
I only met him once at the Fillmore. Dave Alvin and Greg Lease had done a tribute to Merle Haggard, and I was on it. I did Working Man Can't Get Nowhere Today. Tom Russell was on it, and Rosie was on it, Rosie Flores. A lot of other, Billy Joe Shaver was on it. We did some gigs, but we did one at the Fillmore, opening for Merle Haggard at the Fillmore. So it was like the tribute to Merle Haggard opening. So apparently what had happened was Merle Haggard was at a Hollywood press conference where there was like a big like record company version of a tribute to Merle Haggard by all these like big Nashville artists, right? And Merle comes out and he goes, oh, and Irish Dement was on ours too. And he comes out and they go, what do you think of this tribute to your tribute record to you? And he goes, I love it, especially the Irish Dement cut. And and they were like, no, Merle. And they, it's like, and so like it turned out that what had happened was they said that when ours, I don't know what happened with the other record, I'm sure, but when ours came out, apparently he listened to it and he pulled over the bus. They travel on two buses, and there's a bus for the men and a bus for the women. Do you know about that? And so they have two buses at this point, and the men had a bus and the women had a bus. And he pulled over and made everybody, he had the buses pull over and everybody had to come in and listen to the whole album. And apparently he like cried at one point, and it was like very intense. And so I played with Merle Haggard. We got to go up, me and maybe like Rosie and probably Dave and Russell. I can't quite remember. I don't remember Dave. He had to have been there, but I mean he was there. But it was his project really. But he had me and I'm pretty sure it was Rosie. And we got up and we sang. I'm trying to remember what song we sang with him, but we sang a few songs with him. And I'll tell you one thing about it. It sounded so cool on stage with him because he had like these fiddle players. The whole thing was like so three-dimensional, like the way the stage sounded. It was one of the coolest sounding stages I've ever been on because Merle doesn't play real loud. And he's one of those guys that like plays and like pulls the whole play. Like at first it seems like he's not playing loud enough, like something's wrong with the system or something. But by the end of it, he just pulls everybody in. And like it's a real talent, for people that do that. And the stage sounded so cool because there was guys like right next to me playing fiddle, and it seemed like there were some guys that he might have met somewhere like in jail or something from the band. I don't know. There were some real tough guys up there, but it was really cool and an exciting moment. And then Billy Joe Shaver just kept on raving about like, man, these people are like, it's like gypsies, man, and all this crazy shit. And then at one point, like, what's the name of that guy that owned that label that Dave was on back then? I can't remember, but the guy, Bruce, I think it was not Bruce. Bruce passed away, but it was this other guy, and they were like notoriously cheap, And so like they owed me like $50 though, and like they swore they were going to pay me back. And so I go up to the guy at the Fillmore. I'm like, I need my $50. He goes, shh. He goes, I'll give it to you, but he doesn't want anybody else. He owes everybody so much money, and he wants me to go behind a wall. I forget that guy's name though. And that was Dave Alvin's record guy who ran his record company for a while. And Tom was on that too, and Rosie was on it too. They were all on it, but it was exciting, working with Merle.
You were going to listen to some Merle stuff right now, what would be your go-to?
Fugitive, what's that one?
Fugitive.
Snowball to Hell. Working Man Can't Get Nowhere Today. How about, there's a lot of great Merle. There's a lot of Merle that, I like a lot of it. He's a beautiful singer, I like when he covered Lefty. That was really good. And his Jimmy Rogers record is really beautiful. But I don't listen to a lot of Merle all the time, but I really appreciate his band. Norm Hamlet played on, do you know about this? So Norm Hamlet comes in and, he's like the guy he was the music director for Merle's band. So we're doing that record now, Let Us Not Praise Sleepy John. I was working with this guy, Ian Brennan. And Ian says, "Who do you want to play on the record? You know, who do you? Let's get somebody really cool to play on the record." So I said, "Well, how about Pharoah Sanders?" We call it Pharoah Saunders, and he's like, Ian calls him up. He's in Sacramento, you know, and he's like 80 years old or something. He's like, "Yeah, I'd be glad to." "Oh, great, $10,000 for a song, you know." Well, we can't really do that right now. Well, so. So, but anyhow, so he calls, but Ian wants this guy, Norm Hamlet, to come down. I didn't really know about Norm, but Norm was the pedal steel player in Merle's first band that went on the road. And so he came in, and he wouldn't come into Los Angeles. He would only come into way out on the end of on the edge of the city, like way up the highway, man, like up in the mountains. And he met us out there at that guy Travis Dickerson's studio. There's a guy who recorded Axe and a lot of different people. But so he had a studio out there. So we did that recording out there at Travis's place. And Norm he wouldn't go into the city, but he would drive there from Bakersfield. And he came in there and did it. And he was great because the song we gave him was a song called Soul Twist. And it's called That Soul Twist. And like it's not conventional. It's weird, you know. And he did a really beautiful job. And like he just played this like really beautiful, heart-wrenching pedal steel on it. And it goes through some weird changes, and he really went through it. So we went through the whole thing with it, and he worked with us. And then we get done, and then we're hanging with him, and he's telling us all about how he, like, when they first went on the road with Merle, there were still guys inside the bus working on the bus, like putting in the bunks and stuff. So that was pretty exciting. And then he told us so many crazy stories about the whole thing. One thing he said was that these other people's stories, but you know, one's pretty far out. It's like Merle got robbed for everything. They lost all their equipment up in Houston. Bands get pounced on, you know, and somebody pounced on Merle's stuff. So they lost like great old guitars and like all their stuff, like old, great, beautiful instruments. You know, they're priceless. And Merle called the Bakersfield Hells Angels. And told him, the guy, whoever that was there, said, "Let me look into it." And they had everything back, like in 48 hours, they had everything back. So that's pretty cool.
Merle's nobody to mess with.
Not at all. Are you just going to fish here, huh? Is this your new format for the show? All right. You think I might know something about this show? This is like an FBI thing. You're probably working for the FBI now.